Okay, last video. Now, we've just been discussing about creating a React application from Create React App. And during the initialization process, it said creating a Git repository. And as you'll see, when we opened up the terminal, where is it? Where's the terminal? Oh, it's there. Right, okay, there's this little thing here that I've got main. Now, this is my trick of code. This is something called Pure by Syndrasaurus. Don't worry about it too much. But what it allows me to do is see what my Git repository is doing. Right, okay, what is Git? Git, have you ever done this? You've gone in and you've made changes to your component and you've done different things. You've done something else, and then you've done some more text here, and then you've done something else, and then you try to, okay, a while ago I had something that was better, and I meant to go back, and you hit delete, and then you find that you run out of deletes. Well, that's exactly what Git is for. Okay, so Git is a way of saving your work, because like we all do, like hit save. You have to hit save to run it, don't you? So just having changes in your file is not good enough. You need somewhere else to save it. So Git status. Now what's going on here? This is what's happening in my folders. So what it's telling me is that these two files have been modified, and also that it's got untracked. Untracked means it doesn't know about them yet, and it's all red. So if I git add source app.js, then now I go to git status, you'll see it's, I should have gone green. What if I add them all? Okay, there we go. So git add dot is a shortcut. So git add dot will add everything in the current working directory, everything from this point on, so everything in sight down. So now it's aware of these files being changed, right? It knows about them because they've gone green. So they say, no, I know these are modified. Look what it's saying. Changes to be committed. Right, so a commit is something that you do when you've reached a certain point of your code and you're happy with it. Well, I'm happy with my code here, so I'm just going to say git commit, and then I'm going to give it a message. My component was created. All right. Okay, and you see here, my component was created, and it sees it's recognized these full files have changed, and this is what you've done with your code. So now it's actually not saving your whole site. What it's doing is it's saving the differences between what you've written. You've inserted 20 lines of code and you deleted 9 bits of code, and you've also created these two files. Okay, now git log. I've got 2 commits in my repository. So when the application was initialized, when I did npx create react app, it created a first commit, initialize project using create react app. And then this was my most recent one. My component was created. All right, but, oh no, I actually didn't want to do that. Reset soft head. Okay, reset. What do you think that does? Yes, it undoes the last commit. Soft means it won't actually delete the files. If I had hard here, it would delete all my changes. And the head is the reference that Git has to the top of my thing. So imagine you've got let's have, like, you've got a tree of different things, right? In each one of these is a commit, okay? That's in it, and then you've got something else here, and this is the most recent. Well, Git refers to that as the head, the most recent commit, the head of the repository, and this, you might call this the tail. Okay, something like that, right? So this is the head. So we're going to reset to the head, to the head of the thingy, right? Oh, I didn't actually give it. Oh no. So what's happened now? Oh, it hasn't actually done anything. Phew. That's the most annoying thing about the terminal, isn't it? Because it fails silently. All right, git reset soft head, squiggly. Oh, I've got asterisk. Oh, and I've got green files. Right, okay, so now git status. Oh, right, okay. Now it knows that these things are changes. What if I wanted to have 2 commits? Okay. Reset. Unstaged changes. So, okay, this concept of staging. So when you do git add, you stage it. So it knows that it's modified and you're staging it to be committed. All right. But now we're back to the start. So where I was before I made my commit. So say I wanted to just first of all add my new component. GAs, actually that's my bad. Git add, that's my shortcut. Now I've staged my new component. Git commit, I'm going to commit that, give it a message, created new component. My new component. Right. So look here. Oh, okay, right. So we've got to just those 2 log. Right, okay. Created my new component. Now I'm going to git add the rest. Oh yeah. Git commit. And then going to import it, my new component to app. Right, okay. This means that if I want to log, I can now undo, I can roll back to these different stages. And undo them. So that will give you me that, of course, that will roll back that first commit, but not the second one. Won't it? And I can unroll back to that one if I want, and then I can redo stuff. That's without the scope of this video. Okay, I can redo commits as well and replay them, things like that. But the other cool thing is, okay, I've reached this point, but now I want to do something else. Right, I want another new component, and I'm just gonna create another new component. Here, CE. That's a little visual code extension that might become useful to you at some point. Now, what I'm going to say is this component is not, I'm not working on this run. This is just something that I have an idea for, but maybe I'm not able to finish it for some reason. I don't want it to be on the main branch because somebody else might see that if there's more people working on this code than one. So what I want to do is I want to check out a branch. Okay, git checkout B for branch, Ben's new component. Right. See, what's on here is, oh yeah, we've got a new component. And we've also got my 3 initial commits. So init is short for initialize. Initialize my new component. Right. Oh, I didn't add them. Git commit. Where are we? Right. Okay. Clean branch now. Nothing to commit on there. Right. Okay. Now check out main. Oh, my new component is gone. Look, from the file tree. It hasn't been deleted. Second component. Now it's back again. Isn't that cool? So what you can do, and if you've got any changes that you need to make separately from your main code, you can do it here. And then you can, okay, how do you merge things? Then you can merge it in afterwards. So git checkout. Merge it in. It's back again and it's in the main branch, and git log. Now I've got 4 commits on there, right? My new component and my original one. There we go. Right, okay, so you can, so branching is basically the idea that if you've got like like I had before, right? When you've got different commits here. Now, when you create a branch, you go here, and then so that's your new branch. So this is main. Oh, I can't write it there because it's going to be too fussy. But this is the main branch, and this is my branch. So people can keep on adding commits onto the main branch. But what happens here? Well, it's one of two different things. You can merge it back in at any point you want to. Sometimes that'll mean that you have it goes in there at that point, and sometimes it goes in and it actually inserts it into the history at this point. So you made a couple of commits, and it'll do this there. Okay, so it also is historic. So even if I've worked this today, it could insert it back at this point in the main branch. Do you see what I mean? So this is work that's going on. This is what work you're doing on separately in isolation, and then you can merge your changes into that branch. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. Tell me if it doesn't, because I'll re-record this video. But I hope that's useful in the basic ideas of Git. So Git allows us to do what two things? One, it allows us to save our code, right? You don't need to keep pressing Control S. You can save it at a time that is convenient to you, and you can make a little message so that you can remind yourself what you did and when, and that's very handy when you're writing a lot of code. And the other thing is to work in isolation. So you can isolate your code that isn't finished yet from the main body of work of your application. So if you don't want to break anything, you branch off and then you merge it in later. Okay, that is the basic concept. There is a lot more. So the person who created Git also made the Linux operating system, showing you how clever he is and how much there is to this system. But there are tutorials online. If you look up, the name of it is just GIT. But there's also this other cool thing called GitHub. And it's a hub for your Git repositories. So you can actually put your code somewhere where other people can see it. That is really cool, because then you can use other people's code. And that's one of the other things that I want to talk about in another future video, is how to import other people's code into your project. But I didn't get around to it, so I might record another one. You'll never know. I'll see you in the next one.